Whole lot of geese over here. Wow, a whole lot of geese. Water is exceptionally low. There's a lot of bait fish on the bank. So this morning I'm going to try to start out with this little 2-inch Kitech. I got it on a jig head that is entirely too big, but throwing from the bank, I wanted to be able to get as much distance out of it as I could. So it looks a little funny, but we're going to see how that works. I'm trying to fish all these banks that get heavily hit before the crowd gets here. This lake is just amazing, guys. Those of you who haven't been out here, I'm at Shelby Farms today. This is one of the bigger ponds that's in the park, and it's one of the only ones that I can routinely actually catch fish in. But you can see there's geese everywhere. There was a beaver down there. There's at least 2 deer on the bank right there. There's cranes. There's several herons down at that end. Fish hitting everywhere. Like if you're just looking for somewhere to go just to catch fish, this is one of the better spots in the city just to, you know, have a good time, bring the kids, hang out, do that kind of thing. You're not going to catch any monsters out of here, obviously, because of the volume of fishing pressure. Like here in a little bit, the banks will probably be lined with people, so they keep the fish population down. But see, they want a pretty good fish right there. I say pretty good, big enough for me to catch. There he is. Oh, got him that time. What do I got? Hey, got a little largemouth. See, that's what I needed. Those bluegill aren't big enough to get that hook that way, but that's a pretty fish. Obviously not very big, but I mean, I'm fishing a little city pond, so that's pretty solid. I have to do this on my phone because the GoPro is not very good at picking up stuff at a distance, but this is what it's like being out at this lake. 2 deer walking on the bank, white crane, Canadian geese. It's pretty awesome. They've been walking out in the water. Alright, so that's a more appropriate jig head for this bait. I think it's like a 16th ounce jig head. And the color matches the body, and let's see if this doesn't do any better. There he was, look at that. I think that's what bit me a while ago. Along with the mosquitoes are biting too. Light colored fish, like he's in muddy water or deep water. This is obviously really shallow right here. Pretty fish though. There he is. Hey, that's a little better fish than the last couple. Kind of sickly looking, but He should be big enough to fillet if he had some weight on him. Just poor fish for not a whole lot of food in these ponds. Huh. There should be fish. Ooh, there he was. Got him. Oh, he came off. Well, he was another one of those little dinks like I've been catching. I heard a fish around this point up here. I'm telling you, this little spot, I walked up on the bank, all the little hatch, the little fish fry. Oh, see, I got another one that fast. Little bitty bass. Whenever you see that much fry come off the bank, look how little that dude is. He can go in an aquarium. When you see that much fry go off the bank, and then you got grass like this and a stump on a pond that doesn't really have much cover, this is prime. Like there's definitely some fish in here. There he was, see that? Oop. Well, watch out, buddy. There he goes. He found his own way. Ooh, see, there went one. It's too shallow. I don't think I'll be able to fish these without spooking them all. I'm gonna walk out in this mud a little bit. See them? They're tagging them right out here, but the water's so shallow, there's no way I could sneak up on them. I'm just going to have to sit here for a minute and hope they come back. There he was. He got it. First cast out of there. A little better fish. They want another one over there. Come on, buddy. Let's not do that. There he goes. Long, skinny guy. These fish are very unhealthy. They really need to come out here and stock some minnows or restock the bluegill. Guys, there are a ton of bass right here. I know you couldn't see most of it from the camera, but as I was walking up and as I was reeling that fish in, they were swirling on both sides. Look, see? Second cast, got another fish. Look at him going. Look at this crazy guy. This guy is insane. Oh man, he took my tail. Somehow the tail came off. That guy was spunky. But see, he looks healthy for his size. But they probably didn't go far. They just, there he was. Got him. Little bitty turd. Look at this little guy. This week on the Bassmaster Classics, well, this skirt has about had it, but I'm gonna use it again with it all busted up just to see. Ooh, hey, and it caught a fish immediately too. Look at that. Not a very big one, but hey, I think that's the name of the game today. Just catching little bitty guys. Uh-oh. Here's some bones. Pretty sure this is a dead deer of some sort. It is, look. A little buck died. Little 5-point. His whole skeleton's right here. That could have been CWD, being that it's next to water. He could have got hit by a car. Dogs and coyotes could have got him. Who knows? Cool little buck though. It's amazing how shallow of water these fish are up in. I mean, they're in, that water can't be more than 6 inches deep. I mean, I've got on boots that go just below my knees, and I could walk straight across this, no problem. There he was. Let me get this fish over here. I don't drop him in the mud like all the 500 other ones. I keep doing that too. That's a pretty fish. They're cool fish. Just nothing with any real size to it, but they're insanely aggressive. That was a good throw. Ooh, wow, did you see that fish? That sucker grabbed it and just bolted. A little better fish. See, I knew there was a few in here that had some... he's not as big as I thought he was. He definitely took my skirt off, though. I thought he was a lot bigger than that. He's definitely healthier than some of the other ones. He was running. See, he took my tail, though. There he is. Ooh. Another little better fish. There he is. Hey man, we found some decent fish right here. I say decent for this pond. That's decent. It's not like this isn't a tournament winning batch of fish we're catching here today, but for this pond, it's pretty good. This little spot. Ain't no way I can get a bait that far out though. Ooh, there he was. Decent fish. I say decent compared to those other little bitty super tiny fish I've been catching. This one can still go in an aquarium. We won't leave you out, buddy. We'll put you in there. You just probably just eat your brother though. See if we can catch one before we get too close. There he was. Hey, there we go. Well, that guy was hooked pretty good. Pretty fish. Alright guys, I tell you what, I think that's going to do it for the fishing for today. That sun came up and the fish kind of quit biting. So I'm going to do something though while I'm out here. There are a ton of deer out here. I'm going to try to creep up on some of them on my way back to the truck. The wind seems to be almost out of the west. Well, switching south to southwest. The cool part about coming out here looking for deer is they're borderline just tame. Now the bucks are really hard to creep up on. You actually got to be paying attention, but the does, you can almost walk right up in their face. The main thing is you don't have to really be quiet because there's so many people running around screaming and hollering and jogging and running through these trails, and Horses are coming through here. Like I'm on a pretty good trail right here. Oh, there they went. See that doe? She's 30 yards right now. It'd be a real easy shot. These deer clearly do not care. She's just watching me. She got her babies and her buddies. There's probably 10 deer at least around me. It's so thick, it's hard to count them all. There's a doe there about 40 yards. There's another one to the left of her. There's two more right out in there somewhere. I just can't see them anymore. Oh, that doe ran on. That's a really big doe. I doubt she was by herself. I don't see any buddies though. When you come out here, guys, take the scenic route back, man. Like, these woods are beautiful, and there are literally, I've probably seen 20 deer so far just walking through the woods on the way back. It's hard for me to show them all to you because the GoPro doesn't go out there and see stuff that are out there 50 yards or better. If I don't get right on them, you're not going to see them on the GoPro. But I mean, these woods are beautiful, and there's deer out in here, and raccoons and squirrels and skunks and all kinds of stuff. It's just, it's nice. Enjoy it. All right, guys, so on today's video you're going to see me going around Shelby Farms, trying to do a little bass fishing, trying to catch whatever, but I ended up catching mostly bass. But to kind of give you guys a little bit of update on the channel and what's going on, I was going to try to deer hunt last weekend, and it rained pretty much the whole time, and it was warm and it was muggy. It was kind of not the best conditions, especially not for a camera. And so I elected not to go. And then on Monday I got rear-ended and my truck got smashed, and so now my truck's in the shop. I can't get my boat out, and a lot of my deer hunting spots I can't even get to. As you can see, I got a rental. So next weekend the deer season, or the weather looks really good for deer hunting, and so I'm probably gonna go, and it looks like I'm gonna have to take this thing out there, which I don't know if you guys have had a rental car, but this thing smells like freaking botanicals and stuff in there because all the crap they've sprayed in there. So I don't know how I'm going to kind of keep my scent down for deer season, but this morning I was going to try to go fishing, and I had my kayak out, and I was going to try to figure out how to lay the seats down, and I can't figure out how to lay the seats down to see if I can squeeze it in there. So I was like, all right, well, the only thing I can do is go fish off the bank. So that's what I did. So I went out to Shelby Farms and just took a little ultralight, went down the bank. I probably caught somewhere around 30 bass, so it was good. Most of them are really small, but that's to be expected. It wasn't my first choice for the morning. Any of you guys that live in the Memphis area know that this is not a big fishery city. There's not a lot of fisheries, at least not with any good fish. There's a lot of TWRA lakes that are pretty good, but a lot of the other ponds that you would think would have bigger fish, most of them are private and they're posted. I used to drive down the interstate, 385, 240, whatever, and you see a pond on the side of the road, you just pull over and fish it. Well, that was my plan for this morning, and the first two I went to had posted signs all over it where you used to be able to fish them. So I was like, all right, well, as opposed to driving around all day, I went to Shelby Farms because I know you can fish those ponds. There's not going to be, you're not going to go out there and win a bass tournament and catch bass tournament quality fish, but I mean, you can catch a lot of fish, and I mean, you could see this is what your thumb should look like if you have a good day of fishing. You get some good bass thumbs. So I caught quite a few, so it was a lot of fun. I caught them on a 2-inch Kitech. That was the bait of choice today. I didn't know that was going to work. That's just what I'd thrown a handful of baits in the box. That's the one I started off with, and that ended up producing, so I didn't really see a reason to take it off. So if you happen to go out to Shelby Farms is the largest inner city park in the country. At least that's the way I remember it. And they have a lot of ponds out there, and they all have fish in it, but you can't go out to just any of them and catch fish because most of them are kind of drained of the fish population. But you can catch them out there if you know which ones to go to. And the one I went to this morning was the one over by the horse stables. I don't know, that pond may have a name, I don't remember, but that one's got a good bass population in it. It's got a lot of bluegill in it too, but I didn't catch any today. There's several other ponds that you got to walk off the beaten path to get to, and you can catch some other fish. But if you guys are looking to get out in the city and just do some weekend stuff, somewhere to take the kids, Shelby Farms is great. I went off through the woods because there's so many deer out there. It's amazing to just wander through the woods, and I've got some ridiculous trail camera pictures because I used to hang trail cameras out there just to see. You can't hunt out there, so don't even try. You'll see a bunch of ginormous bucks running around out there, and it's really hard not to want to hunt them. But I mean, they're almost tame. You just kind of want to pet them. You know, they don't really run off. The bucks are harder to get up on than the does, but the doe, I mean, this morning I walked up 20 yards of a doe. They don't really spook the same. They're used to human presence, but it's beautiful. Get out there, hike some trails, watch the deer. There's all sorts of wildlife out there. It's a really great park. I really enjoy. I used to live out there, and I used to enjoy it a little more often, but now that I live so far out, I don't get out there very often. But it's a great place. Go enjoy some fishing, do some wildlife watching, hike some trails, get out, be active. It's a good time. But I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hopefully it'll be putting a deer in this rental car. This is a Memphis, Tennessee rental, so if I put a deer in here and I get blood on the seats, I'm sure it's not the first time the blood's been in this car. This is Memphis, but I can't put my deer hauler in here. It won't fit, so I'm probably gonna have to pack a deer out if I kill one and pack it in a cooler or something. So I'm not gonna mess the car up. I can't really get it off the main road, so I'm gonna be limited on where I can go. But hopefully next weekend I'll be back on some deer, and we'll see how it goes with having a car. Hopefully I'll get my truck back before muzzleloader season or rifle season comes in, where, you know, once I start actually killing stuff, I'll have a better means of getting it out. But until then, I'm driving the old Malibu here. So anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next one.